Picture this. It is the summer of 2025. Victor Gioarez is sitting somewhere in Lisbon, thinking about his future. He has just finished a season that defied description. He has scored goals that left defenders standing. He has torn apart Champions League opponents in front of a Valverde faithful that adored him completely. He was their man, their leader, their obsession. And then he left, not quietly, not gracefully, not in a way that left the door open for warm memories and fond farewells. He pushed, he maneuvered, he engineered his exit with the kind of single-mindedness that only truly elite footballers possess, the kind who know exactly what they want and refuse to let sentiment get in the way of ambition. He wanted Arsenal, he wanted the Premier League, he wanted the biggest stage European football had to offer, and he was willing to burn bridges to get there. And now, 9 months later, on a Tuesday evening in Lisbon, on the very same night that Arsenal enter the Champions League quarter-finals against the club he left, Victor Gioarez is going back. Not as a legend returning home, not as a beloved son welcome back with warmth and nostalgia. He is going back as the enemy. He is going back as the striker standing in their way. He is going back to the Estadio José Alvalade, where 50,000 Sporting fans will know his name, know his movements, know every single thing about him, and they will want him to fail more than they have wanted anything in a very long time. That is the context. That is the backdrop. That is the atmosphere waiting for Arsenal tonight in Portugal. And if you think this is just a football match, you have not been paying attention. Welcome to James Arsenal Analysis. I am James. Before we go any further, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on notifications. Every Arsenal breakdown, every tactical analysis, every piece of team news, it comes through this channel first. Like this video, drop your prediction in the comments and stay with me until the very end, because I am going to take you through everything tonight, from the injury picture to the tactics to the key battles to what this match actually means for Arsenal's season. Let us get into it. Because here is the thing that I need you to understand before we even talk about formations and lineups. Arsenal arrive in Lisbon carrying something heavier than their luggage. They carry 2 consecutive defeats. The EFL Cup final to Manchester City at Wembley, a 2-0 loss that was painful and flat and entirely unlike the Arsenal that had dominated the Premier League for most of this season. And then just days after the international break, the FA Cup quarter-final at Southampton. A result that shocked English football and left Mikel Arteta standing on the touchline at St Mary's, looking like a man searching for answers he did not yet have. 2 cup exits, 2 defeats, back-to-back. The quadruple dream is finished, done, gone, and Arsenal fans, myself included, have had to sit with that disappointment and process it. Because this squad, this group of players, this manager, this club, they were supposed to be in contention for everything this season. But here is what I also know. Here is what I refuse to let get buried under the noise of the last few weeks. Arsenal are 9 points clear at the top of the Premier League. 9. That is not a side in crisis. That is not a squad falling apart. That is a team that has been the dominant force in English football all season long. And the Champions League quarter-final is still right in front of them, waiting to be claimed. And this is where it gets interesting, because there is no better time for Arsenal to face a European challenge than right now, when the pressure of the league is where it is. When the wounds of the cup exits are still fresh and the hunger to prove something is absolutely burning. Arteta knows this. The players know this. Nights like tonight are what the entire season is built for. So let us talk about how they are going to approach this. The team news coming out of Arsenal's camp over the past 48 hours has been a story of 2 emotions simultaneously. Relief and concern, sitting right next to each other. The relief is Declan Rice. He missed the Southampton game and his absence was enormous. You do not fully appreciate what Rice gives this Arsenal side until he is not there. The energy, the intensity, the physicality, the ability to win second balls and immediately launch Arsenal into attack. He is the engine of this midfield. And he trained on Monday. He is expected to start tonight. That is the biggest boost Arteta could have received going into the first leg of a Champions League quarter-final. The relief is also Gabriel Magalhaes. He was forced off in the second half at Southampton with what looked in the moment like a serious knee problem. Arteta's face said everything after the game. But the Brazilian has recovered. He has been cleared to travel and is expected to start alongside William Saliba at the heart of Arsenal's defence. That partnership, when fit and functioning, is one of the finest centre-back combinations in European football. Tonight, they need to be exactly that. Now the concern, Bukayo Saka is not in Lisbon. He did not travel. Yuri Timber did not travel either. Two of Arsenal's most important players, both absent from the squad for the first leg of a Champions League quarter-final. Let that settle for a moment. Because Saka is not just a goal scorer or a winger. He is Arsenal's most creative force. He draws defenders, he creates angles, he wins free kicks in dangerous areas, he produces moments of individual quality that no other player in this squad can replicate. His absence fundamentally changes what Arsenal can do in attack. Timber at right back is the natural covering defender, the one who allows Arteta to play with the backline high and aggressive without anxiety on the right flank. Without him, Christian Mosquera gets the nod. The young Spaniard has shown real quality this season, but this is his first Champions League quarter-final in a Portuguese stadium against one of the highest tempo pressing sides in Europe. That is a significant step up. Eberechi Eze remains out, Mikel Merino remains out, Piero Hincapié remains out. The injury list is long. Arteta said it himself after Southampton that they need to change this situation immediately, that losing so many important players at such a critical point of the season is not sustainable. He is right. But tonight, they have to work with what they have. And what they have is still good enough. Because Martin Odegaard is available. He was on the bench against Southampton, returning from the knee injury that kept him out since late February. His fitness levels need careful management, and Arteta may not be able to start him from the off, expecting 90 minutes. But Odegaard's mere presence on the pitch changes everything for this team. His ability to find pockets of space to receive the ball under pressure and immediately make the right decision, to link Rice and the front line with intelligence and vision, there is no adequate replacement for that. Arsenal need him tonight, even if it is for 60 minutes. Martin Zubimendi pulled out of Spain's international squad during the break with a knee concern, and that raised alarms. But he is confirmed available and is expected to partner Rice in the double pivot. The discipline and positional intelligence he brings to that midfield role is exactly what Arsenal need when playing away from home in Europe. He does not overcomplicate, he does not gamble. He reads the game brilliantly and makes Rice's job easier by being exactly where he needs to be. Noni Madueke is back. He missed Southampton, but is expected to take the right-wing position, vacated by Saka's absence. He has pace, directness, and the confidence to take players on in 1-versus-1 situations. He is not Saka, nobody is, but he is a serious option on that side, and Arteta will be hoping he can cause Ivan Fresneda problems tonight. And then there is Leandro Trossard on the left, the tireless Belgian who works without the ball as hard as anyone in this squad and who can pop up with crucial goals in big moments. He completes a front line that, even without Saka, carries genuine Champions League quality. At left-back, Ricardo Calafiori steps in. He is comfortable in possession, brave in the press, and offers Arsenal an extra creative dimension from deep on that side. The predicted lineup tonight is this: David Raya in goal, Christian Mosquera at right-back, William Saliba and Gabriel at centre-back, Ricardo Calafiori at left-back, Martin Zubimendi and Declan Rice in the double pivot, Noni Madueke on the right, Martin Odegaard at number 10, Leandro Trossard on the left, and Victor Gioarez leading the line. Now let us talk about Sporting CP, because they deserve serious respect. And I mean that fully. Rui Borges took over on Boxing Day 2024, stepping in when the club needed direction, and what he has built since then has been genuinely impressive. Sporting come into this tie having lost just once in their last 16 matches. Their home form in the Champions League this season has been extraordinary. 4 wins from 4 in the league phase, 11 goals scored, only 3 conceded. The Alvalade at night, in a big European tie, is one of the most hostile environments in the continent. And then there is the round of 16 against Bodo Glimt. Sporting went into the second leg 3 goals down. 3 goals. Most European campaigns end in exactly that moment. But Sporting ran out 5-0 winners on the night, completing one of the most remarkable comebacks in the history of this competition. That result did not just give them a place in the quarterfinals. It gave this squad a belief that they are capable of producing something extraordinary when the occasion demands it. Arsenal cannot underestimate that. Arteta will not underestimate it. But I also need to be honest about what Sporting are facing tonight, because there is one absence from their squad that changes the entire dynamic of this first leg. Morten Hjulmand is suspended. The captain, the midfield engine, the player who organises, who presses, who wins the ball and distributes it with the authority of a leader. He picked up his 5th yellow card of the UCL campaign against Bodo Glimt, and he serves that ban tonight. He will be available for the second leg at the Emirates, but tonight in this stadium, in this first leg, Sporting go into the biggest match of their European campaign without their most important midfielder. Daniel Braganca is expected to step into that double pivot role alongside Hidemasa Morita. Braganca is a capable footballer, technically assured, but he is not Hidjulmand. The physicality, the aerial dominance, the ability to break up play that Hidjulmand provides simply cannot be replicated by a different player overnight. Arsenal's midfield, with Rice and Zubimendi both expected to start, should have a very clear structural advantage in the centre of the pitch tonight. On the right, Ivan Fresneda returns after missing Friday's match with flu. He was cleared to play after training fully on Monday. His recovery is good news for Sporting because their defensive structure on the right flank needs him against Madueke's pace and directness. Giovanni Quenda is an interesting subplot. The young Portugal under-21 international suffered a foot fracture in early December and only returned to training about a week ago. He has been working at full intensity, but his involvement tonight is expected to be limited, perhaps a substitute appearance if Borges feels the game situation demands it. He is not ready for 90 minutes of Champions League football yet. Fotis Ioannidis and Nuno Santos are both out injured, but when Sporting are at their best, they are a genuine threat. Francisco Trincao has been outstanding in this competition, with 7 goal involvements across 9 UCL appearances this season. He operates in the number 10 space and is clever, creative, and capable of producing moments of real quality in tight areas. Pedro Gonçalves on the wide right, Catamo on the left, and Luis Suarez up front create a front line that carries constant movement and directness. Borges will want a fast start. He will want the crowd behind his team from the first minute. He will want chaos in Arsenal's defensive shape, high-tempo pressing, wide overloads, and volume. If Sporting score early in this tie, the Alvalade becomes a completely different kind of environment. Arsenal know this. They have to be disciplined and controlled from the first whistle. Tactically, this is fascinating. Arteta's away European approach has been clear all season. He wants control, he wants possession. He wants to dictate the tempo and deny the opposition the chaos they need to create chances. He is not going to Lisbon to park the bus. He is going to Lisbon to play Arsenal football, to move the ball quickly, to use the width, and to look for an away goal that would fundamentally shift the dynamic of this tie going into the second leg at the Emirates. The key battles tell you everything. In the centre of the pitch, Rice and Zubimendi against Braganca and Morita. With Hjulmand absent, this is where Arsenal have their clearest advantage. If Rice dominates that area, if he wins second balls and drives Arsenal forward on the counter, Sporting simply do not have the midfield presence to match him. This is where the game could be won or lost. At centre-back, Gabriel and Saliba against Luis Suarez. Both of Arsenal's centre-backs are returning from injury concerns. Both need to be at their physical best to deal with Suarez's directness and movement. If either shows any hesitation, any sign that the knock has not fully cleared, Sporting will identify it immediately and target it. On the right, Mosquera against Catamo. This is the most vulnerable point in Arsenal's defensive structure tonight. Mosquera is talented, but Catamo has pace and directness that will test him repeatedly. Arsenal needs Zubimendi to drop and cover intelligently in those moments, to give Mosquera support without completely abandoning the midfield shape. And then there is the Gioarez question, the one every Arsenal fan has been thinking about since the draw was made. How does he play against his former teammates, against the keeper who trained with him all last season, against the defenders who know his runs, his movement, his preferred foot? And how does the crowd respond when he scores? Because if he scores, and I believe he will have chances too, this stadium will go silent in a way that nobody in Portugal expected when the draw was made. Gioarez does not carry sentiment onto the pitch. He carries 5 goals in his last 3 appearances for club and country. He carries the hunger of a striker in the form of his life. He carries the knowledge that Arsenal signed him to score goals on exactly these nights. And he carries the memory, whether he has spoken about it publicly or not, of what it felt like to leave a club under those circumstances. That kind of motivation does not need a speech. It needs a match. Let me bring this home now with what tonight actually means. Arsenal's season has been tested in the last few weeks. The cup exits stung. They hurt. But the Premier League title is still in their hands, and the Champions League quarter-final is right in front of them. This is the moment this squad has been building toward for 3 consecutive seasons. 3 consecutive Champions League quarter-finals, and a trophy that has never once found its way to Highbury or the Emirates in the entire history of this football club. This squad is the closest Arsenal have been. This manager is the closest Arsenal have been. And tonight in Lisbon is the moment where the season either comes back to life in the most dramatic way possible, or where another chapter of near miss begins to be written. I believe in this squad. I believe in Arteta's ability to set up for a European away tie. I believe that Rice returning is massive. I believe that Gabriel and Saliba can handle whatever Sporting throw at them. I believe that Gabriel and Saliba can handle whatever Sporting throw at them. That is the target tonight. Get through this first leg with an away goal. Keep it tight at the back. Do not hand Sporting a lead that would make the Alvalade the fortress it desperately wants to be. And then bring them to North London for a second leg where Arsenal become the force. The crowd will be phenomenal tonight. The atmosphere will be electric. This is Champions League football at its most raw and its most brilliant. And Arsenal are in it, right in it. I want your predictions in the comments right now. I want to know what you think the score is tonight. I want to know whether you trust this Arsenal squad to get a result in Lisbon. I want to know what you feel. If you are watching tonight, get involved. Stay with this channel because the reaction video, the full tactical breakdown, the analysis of everything that happens at the Alvalade, it is all coming on. James Arsenal Analysis. The moment that final whistle goes, subscribe, like this video, share it with every Arsenal fan you know. Because tonight is one of those nights. Gioarez goes back to Lisbon. Rice returns to the engine room. Gabriel and Saliba stand tall at the back. And Arsenal, battered slightly by recent weeks, but absolutely unbroken in their ambition, go to Portugal to remind everyone exactly who they are. Come on, you Gunners. I am James. This has been James Arsenal Analysis. Stay until tonight. I will see you on the other side.